the big fireball. More fire. More fire.
Yes, cunt lords and motherfuckers. This is Sam, the original Spanner, and I'm with my legendary cousin.
Adam Shagham, how are you?
Very good, mate. Now listen, you've got a new nickname. You have been christened as Adam Shagster by Centre Notch.
Say that again.
Your new nickname, mate, is Adam Shagster.
Okay, we'll go for. We'll go use that going forward. It's fine. All good.
Right. So basically, and then I was in the last episode known as J Lord instead of J Lloyd. Oh mate, fucking skits. So all right, let's get some shit together. So basically,
Yeah.
all right, in the old family life, the bad news was 2 weeks ago on the Friday, I was supposed to fly out to the UK and sort of rendezvous with the family, which has been fucking 2 years now. It's insane. I feel like I'm living down in New Zealand or somewhere like that. But it's only a fucking just shy of a 3-hour flight, isn't it? But couldn't do it because turns out that all of the family down in the hedge got the Rona. So that has been postponed again. So I don't know when I'm going to fly out. I still haven't renewed my passport, and I believe your passport's expired. So you better pull your finger out your ass, mate, if we're going to meet up and go out on the lash in Portugal for my brother's stag next Easter, right?
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken.
We've got to get that sorted. So it's all good.
And and it turns out, I mean, it's fucking mental because apparently in the UK you're all Rona-fied to the max, but over here in Spain we're doing all right.
Yeah, well, there's one reason and one reason only. We're thick as shit over here, mate. Honestly, we're fucking idiots.
Even my fucking brother caught it, and he lives 200 miles away from you lot.
Mate, honestly,
bloody mental.
Honestly, the country's on its ass, literally.
Covered in shit as well. Bloody hell, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
So,
definitely.
but I mean, also the other bad news was on the day of flying out, Grandad had a bit of a dilemma. So the poor bloke sort of blacked out, did a full-on Hardy Boys head plant into the shower, broke his arm as well on the side furniture or whatever, on the shower door, so that's hanging from a hinge. And the bloke ended up in hospital. So the good news is, he had his scans and everything, he was all right. And I spoke to him the other day, and do you know what he said, mate?
What's that?
He says, the best thing about being in the hospital was getting washed down by the nurses because they gave him a good thorough washing round the goalies.
Yes, he told me that,
Mate, and he said he reckoned that he'd have got a stonking boner if it was 20 years ago, but he says he couldn't put up a tent to save his life. Oh, bloody hell. But mate, in the world of football, we've had some ups and downs. We obviously experienced a 4-2 loss at Leicester, and they've been up the shit this season as well, really, in the league. And then last night in the old Champions League, that was fucking pure adrenaline to the max, mate. A 3-2 victory against Atalanta. So, mate, this episode is called, if I'm not mistaken, I have called the episode Tingling Balls. Because if that didn't make your balls tingle, mate, then I don't know what would.
It's very true.
So, no, mate.
Yeah.
Fucking brilliant. So, and poor Ollie, mate, he's been getting so much abuse online. I mean, I'm trying to compete with him because I've been getting shitloads of abuse on the paddock from the old fucking match day videos, getting trolled as fuck, mate. But you got to take it on the chin.
Exactly. That's it.
Oh
But
dear.
I don't know. I don't know. It's a funny old situation at the moment. It's all a bit on a knife edge. Um,
Yeah,
and
but I've got a
obviously it could go
secret
either way.
planned for Yeah, I've got a secret plan for Joe Smith that shall be revealed in a couple of days. All right.
Right.
He did make a personal
Okay.
request, so I shall fulfill his request. So stay tuned for that one.
Right.
And then in the last episode for the Villa loss, to try and keep the fan base a little bit happy, we came up with some old car puns for past and present players. So, as
Yeah.
always, we're very grateful to the fan base for getting involved. So we had a few contributions. Stan Hughes went Kevin McDonald drive through. So I thought that was fucking classic.
Yes.
Oh dear. We had mate Steve United Steve 79 said, "Come on boys, what about Aston Martin Villa? I mean, how could we fucking let that one
Right. Yeah, I know. We
slip
let
through
that
our
one through,
fingers?"
didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah, we did. And obviously Boomhauer has made well, he was sort of thinking about what Dave, not Dave, fuck knows why I said Dave Tourette's, the Dutch rave music sounds like. So at the end of the episode, I'm going to give you a little sample, mate. Okay, and he
Yeah.
also made a very, very interesting point because as we were taking the piss out of the old Vauxhall Novas and how they couldn't be called Nova over here in Spain because that meant they wouldn't go. He ended up mentioning something very interesting down in Texas way because he said that the Chevy Nova, which was affiliated with Chevrolet, again had shit sales because of the Spanish translation. So that's fucking mint. So
Yeah.
we do love a bit of some cultural insights there. And the one and only
Yes.
Santa Notch, he must forgive me, right, on the old pronunciation of a large type of Italian pork sausage, but I believe it could be pronounced cotechino, I think. All right. I think it's because the
Yeah.
CH might be like a K sort of pronunciation.
Yeah.
So it's slow cooked, eaten with lentils or polenta. So
Yeah.
he says you can
Placenta.
even
What?
use pig trotters too, mate. So what's that, mate?
Placenta.
Placenta. Mate, that's the shit kind of shit David eat. David R, the
Yeah.
Undertaker. Oh dear.
Oh
Mate, we'll
dear.
be getting David R back on in a few weeks during the next international break because we do have a show planned related to toilet humour. So
Yeah.
if you are immature with a ridiculously stupid inner child like ours,
Yeah.
then we'll be definitely on that shit. And then Santa Notch,
Yeah.
the lord of all puns, on par with Joe Smith himself. Get ready, mate. We've got for
Yeah.
Dalian Atkinson. We've got DeLorean Time Machine Atkinson. We've got for Jack Grealish, Jack Grealish Lightning. Wella, wella, wella. Oh, tell me more, tell me more. And for George Boateng, mate, you're going to love this shit. For George Boateng, we've got George Chitty Chitty Boateng Tang.
Classic.
Oh, mate, that was class.
Yes,
Oh
mate.
dear, that was brilliant. And I was trying to sort of tell him about another local special we've got around here, mate, in Granola. We've got
Yeah.
this Spanish dish called Cayos, mate. Now, this would shred your ass to pieces, but I do love it. It's one of my favorite tapas. So basically, it's chickpeas with tripe, and it's done in this like
Oh.
proper tangy paprika stock. Mate, it is
Yeah.
beautiful. If you've got some proper fresh baked bread, like the proper
Yeah.
rustic bread, and you just whack it in. Oh, mate, it is
Yeah.
beautiful. But it can give
Nice.
you the serious ring sting the next day. So, and you can also get chunks of sort of pancetta in it as well. So, You like your
Nice.
bacon, mate, but this is the thick cock shit. So it's very, very good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now, mate.
Nice.
Um, so I do apologise to old Ronnie Rollercola. I forgot about the Beatles. I'm a spaz. So that's me in one word. So to try and cheer up the fan base a little bit, I know it's a little bit of a thing that is a bit of a taboo right now. We're not allowed to mention the Leicester loss, but we'll go
Yeah,
along with the Halloween puns for past and present Leicester players. So, because you are my elder by 5 days, I shall
yeah.
pass you the rhythm stick.
Right, okay. I'm going in simple with Casper the Friendly Ghost, Schmeichel.
Oh, fucking class, mate. Yes. I've got for the manager, instead of Brendan Rodgers, we've got Dungeon Rodgers.
Nice. Right. For right for a centre back, Johnny Evans. It's here's Johnny Evans, as in The Shining.
Nice. Of course. Oh, mate, if you polish your balls, you get a bit of that as well. So I've got for Wesley Fofana, I've got Pugsley
Yeah.
Adams Fofana.
Nice. Right.
Oh,
Which
mate.
brings me on
Mate.
to this. This brings me on to this one quite nicely. Um, is
Yes,
it
mate.
Yannick Vestergaard? His
Yes,
name
mate.
is
That's
now
true.
going to be Yannick Vestergaard.
Oh, love it, mate. Bit of Uncle
Yes,
Fester.
exactly.
Oh, mate. I've got a colleague that looks like Uncle Fester, but I'm not going to say who. But I reckon Davy Boy G will know who I'm talking about. He's going to chuckle to himself, even Damo, Irish Damo. Oh, fuck me. Right, I've got for the old. Oh, what was his name? Sorry, I'm fucking immature. We've got for the old German. Was he German? Robert Hoot.
Yeah.
I've got Robert Hoot went the owl.
Classic. Um,
Stupid, mate.
right. My
Oh,
next one um, is a bit of a mashup for James Madison. Again, following the
okay. I've got one as
Festa and
well. I've got one for him.
Pugsy. I've gone with James
Yeah.
Madison's family.
Oh, ready for this one. I've got James Madden, the head son.
Nice.
Oh, brilliant.
Right.
Oh, give me the next one, mate.
My my final one is for
Yeah.
Lockman. Is now
Yeah.
Adamola look a ghost man.
Oh, mate, that reminds me of the spin-off series from Breaking Bad called Better Call Saul, because the
Right.
character's called Saul and his surname is Goodman. So I was thinking to
Right.
myself, so what the fuck does that mean? But when you think about
Right.
it and you say it quickly, it actually sounds like Saul Goodman, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Saul Goodman, Saul Goodman. So I thought that was pretty clever. Anyway, we need a stadium. So instead of the Walkers Stadium, we've got the Massacre Stadium. And I've got a bit of a gory one, which David liked. We've got for Jamie Vardy, we've got Jam Rag Vardy.
Ah.
And my
Yes.
final one, brace yourself, proper mashup. We love a bit of a mashup. For Ben Chilwell, we've got Ben's Chilly Willy fell down the well. That's fuck all to do with Halloween, but it's kind of scary if you lose your knob and it falls down a well.
Yes, you'll be howling like a wolf.
Oh, totally, mate. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the good, bad, and the ugly of all this shit that's been going on lately. So give me
Yeah,
some shit, mate.
yeah, give me some shit. Okay. Um,
Skirt.
well, yeah, it's it's so fucking difficult to try and you know make head or nor tail of what exactly is going on. Um,
Yeah,
I think it's just like the whole issue. Like the media are making a shitstorm about Ronaldo and Solskjaer,
yeah,
and
that's true.
and him
I
walking
mean,
off the pitch and trying to walk off the other day. Like what I said to you. You know, the whole situation. What he says to me is that Ronaldo is a pure winner through and through. Yeah, he only ever wants to win. He doesn't want to draw. He only ever wants to win.
yeah, exactly.
And he doesn't
That's why
settle
sort
for
of if we
yeah. He doesn't settle for second
yeah,
best, does he?
exactly. Like if we draw,
Yeah,
that sort of accentuates the fact that there's a disappointment and like
yeah,
that a draw feels like a loss.
yeah,
Whoa, fuck me. That was a bit spooky.
yeah. And I think so the reason why he tries walking down the tunnel, it's through embarrassment. I think
Yeah,
personally, he's embarrassed about the fact that he hasn't been able to pull the team up to win the 3 points. Um, and
yeah.
I was
But I
also
do
like,
agree with Ollie in encouraging him to sort of just go to the fans and give them a clap,
yeah, oh
just to
yeah,
be a
no,
bit chivalrous.
yeah, no, I agree. And I think like what I was saying to you. I think in a way Ronaldo signed for United thinking it was the United of old that he left, and it's not because we haven't
I
got
do,
the
and I
whole
also agree
the
with
whole
Howson
setup.
that there's yeah, and also thinking about his kids. The
Yeah,
United Academy is just brilliant. There's
yeah,
such a great chance that kids can progress in the right conditions.
yeah. This is it, and I think
So that
I
was
think
definitely a factor.
I th- and I also still touching on the Ronaldo issue. I think
My
that
penis.
Ronaldo.
Sorry.
I think Ronaldo now realizes that um, there are some seriously below par players pulling on the shirt every week, and I think that
Yeah,
that also comes across in the fact that um, you know when we went on that loss, when we lost a couple of games, there was a point that I looked at him and I'm thinking, is he regretting coming back because it's going to taint his legacy of winning trophies. Um,
yeah. I mean, it's the ultimate challenge. If you sort of
yeah,
decide at that age to have a real serious pop in the Premier League, which is full of competition, then
yeah,
it's a huge decision, and we've got to come to terms as a fan base that Ronaldo isn't going to press. I mean, I said the other day I criticised him that he's not pressing, and that sort
yeah,
of goes against sort of what we've been trying to do a little bit up front over the past
yeah,
few years under Ollie's reign. However, I do think right that my colleague, one of my Spanish colleagues, who's a like diehard Real Madrid fan, he says that
yeah,
one of the major factors of why Mourinho and Ronaldo fell out was apparently Ronaldo's reluctance to press. So everything's
yeah,
sort of based on conserving his energy off the ball. So
yeah,
he's all about the on the ball sort of action.
yeah,
So that's something we're going to have to respect because that's his
yeah,
sort of philosophy and sort of knowing how his body works, he's at an
yeah,
age where he's not an ancient bloke. I mean,
no,
some argue that he's got a body of like someone who's maybe 5 to 10 years younger than he is, but
yeah,
you need to sort of accept that when we're ready to sort of go on the counter, especially with Rashford down the left now, which is a blessing. Hopefully, he's
yeah,
all right after his dead leg. But
yeah,
Ronaldo could be fucking lethal as anything.
yeah.
So,
I
well, he
agree.
is
I
already.
agree.
But
Yeah,
I'm
I
I'm trying to be optimistic here.
yeah, I agree, and I think also what kind of I think with Ronaldo, he was sold a bullshit vision by the board. Um,
Possibly.
he was sold a
Well,
vision that the
maybe.
team was ready to win the Premier League and the
Yeah.
Champions League this season because of the fact that we've signed
Yeah.
Sancho, we've signed Varane, and Ronaldo. I think he was sold a bullshit vision from the board because that's the sort of cocks that the board are, and you know,
Yeah.
I hope I'm going to be wrong in that. But
But
you know,
I mean, don't forget, right? At some point yesterday, we were bottom of the group in the Champions League. Then all of a
yeah.
sudden, we're top of the group. Things can change really quickly. I
Oh yeah,
mean, what we
no,
got to do, right, on our next
I
match against
agree.
Liverpool is
Yeah,
try and do a dirty tackle on Van Dijk. If we fuck him
yeah,
over, mate, then
yeah,
Liverpool will sort of like fall from their perch. Then it's our turn to
yeah,
sort of try and like send up the league table and stuff. I mean,
yeah,
anything can happen. I mean, what we do know is morale has been fragile as anything, and then there's been discord in the group because I mean things have changed. The system's got to change. It's got to evolve. I
yeah,
mean, at the minute, it's like the universe. I mean, it's ever expanding, but then somehow there's some kind of weird shit happens where the
yeah,
entropy is reorganized at a higher state and things sort of
yeah,
work out again. This is me
yeah.
fucking on cloud nine, but I don't know if I make sense because I don't, but I do, if you know what I mean.
I think you know I for example we're saying about we were bottom of the group last night and then we won and then we're now top of the group and
Yeah,
people are and that's fair enough, but what we cannot come away from is that first half was shit. We were shockingly shit against a team at Atalanta who, I'm not taking anything away from what they've achieved over the last 5 years, 6 years, but they aren't like
yeah.
what I call an elite team. When we come up
All right,
against,
they're good.
we've got
Yeah,
we've got Liverpool coming up. At the
they're
end
a
of the
good
day,
team. Yeah,
yeah. Oh, yeah. No, don't get me wrong, but and everybody's like, "Oh, we've got to be on our A game for Liverpool." It doesn't matter what your form is going into the Liverpool game on both teams because it's the Man U Liverpool game. You're going to get a game, regardless of your form of either team.
yeah,
Um, like the United City game, you know, both teams could go on a losing streak, but that game will make or
yeah,
break their season because of the spotlight's on. So it doesn't matter what happened in the last 4 games, 5 games, whatever. That game,
yeah,
everybody's in a different mentality. Any rivalry game like that, and I think you know we can't hide away from the fact that we have played very, very, very shit. Um, and
yeah,
we have conceded stupid goals. Sit like last night, those 2 goals. The first goal, I'm sorry, the defence were out of position. Um,
yeah. Oh
and
no, that's very
Maguire,
true. And
the Maguire wasn't in the right space, and
yeah,
the player come in and took advantage of it. I think like
but let
what I
me say
said. What?
something now. I hope
Yeah,
that when he scored his goal, now I believe this is
yeah,
going to be a symbolic moment. It was like last season, I had this premonition when Greenwood scored after this drought. he was going to
yeah,
go into fucking gung ho mode, and it came true.
yeah,
And I've got another
yeah,
premonition that Maguire, after
yeah,
scoring his first goal in the Champions League and redeeming himself
yeah,
after that stupid mistake, he's going to go
yeah.
into full on sledgehammer mode, mate. He's going to be a slabadabba ding dong.
I
So
hope you're right.
I
I
think
hope you're
his
right.
morale's going to go straight up.
I
Yeah.
think, you know,
Well, that's
I
my
was,
premonition. This is
yeah,
recorded in episode 64, I believe.
yeah. I
So,
think you're right. He hopefully will end up finding a bit of form, but
yeah,
over the last, few weeks, and the fact that I was isolating, I actually had a chance to lay down. I was in bed, and I was thinking about stuff, and I was
yeah.
thinking about like United
Minge.
randomly, yeah, and I was thinking to
Yeah.
myself, where is the problem in the team? Where, where does the problem originate from? And I kind of was stripping back every player, thinking, what is their,
Every
what's
bed sheet.
caused, yeah, what's their weak, what's causing these issues, these fuck ups, and
Yeah.
I kind of nearly came. Well, I'm going to say it now, but I was thinking to myself, I think the majority of the issues were coming from Maguire. Maguire was causing a lot
Okay.
of the
Well,
issues.
I'm going to say this,
Um,
but don't forget he had been out injured a little bit, but I'm going to back you up right now. I think that at the end of the day, if his morale was low and he had the wobbles inside his head, the thoughts of self doubt and stuff, the bloke, what he did at half time last night, he's had a little bit of Alfie Solomon's rum, and he's sort of managed to feel a lovely sense of
yeah,
liberation from self doubt, and he went in.
yeah,
Fucking, I don't know. It just worked. The second half was absolutely epic. I was
yeah,
like thinking, what the fuck? This, I felt like a proper, I know people get pissed off when I say this, a legacy fan from the 90s.
yeah,
And I felt like a little kid jumping up and down on my parents' sofa, banging my head against the wall, letting my dad fucking go and ape at me
yeah,
after, we'd score in the Champions League because there was so much adrenaline, and the atmosphere in OT was absolutely
yeah,
mental. And so I hope, what's his face? Old matey boy Johnny Cavani from the United way
yeah,
managed to go to that match because his vlogs are absolutely fucking brilliant. But he has been slightly quiet lately, and I hope that he's doing okay. I know a lot of us Oleaners are sort of struggling to keep our shit together, and we're sort of
yeah,
feeling the pressure, and I was trying to empathise with the bloke,
yeah,
knowing that he's going through a tough time, especially with all these trolls with multiple accounts on social media that are sort of
yeah,
bombing all of the even the paddock and stuff. There are so many
yeah,
weirdos just coming out with shit to just destabilize the harmony, in the community.
yeah,
Because at the end of the day, we're a good bunch of lads. So,
yeah. I
but
think
yes, mate. So,
I think
can you give me your favorite moment of yesterday's match? Do you have a favorite moment?
um, well, it's difficult to pinpoint exactly, but you know, De Gea did a couple of quality saves which helped us out, and that was quite nice to see. Um, and
Oh, mate, that was beautiful.
yeah, and I think just the second half in general was just um, nice to watch. Um, and I think
Yeah,
we definitely need to take that second half into the first half of the Liverpool game without a shadow of a doubt. Because otherwise, if we play like we did in the first half, we are going to get fucked hard. Um,
yes,
and
mate,
I
totally.
and we,
But I'm gonna
we
say,
don't
can I
need
just say
that.
this right? Yeah. Do you remember back in the day, mate? One of the members of D Generation X, Mr. Ass. Can you remember him?
Yeah, yeah,
Right. Basically, one of the best ever moments in WWE was when someone did an attempted clothesline and they didn't make contact, and the bloke did this delayed reaction and he threw himself to the floor, and we'd keep rewinding that and then playing it again, and we'd be pissing ourselves. Well, basically, did you see Daroon's reaction when when the referee called a foul when
Oh,
he
yeah,
clipped the
yeah,
back of Ronaldo?
yes, yes,
He did a
yeah.
moustache, full on fucking jump, tried to do a random people's elbow on the grass, and it all went wrong.
Yeah, he went full on tard, didn't he?
Mate, he went skids. That was brilliant.
Yeah, I think I just it's frustrating. It's frustration that I've got to kind of put in a box in my brain and lock it away because I don't want it to
Yeah,
cloud my judgment. Because frustration causes a lot of issues in life if you don't deal with it properly, and it's just
that's correct.
I think you know the team need to really buck their ideas up. Because in the first half, Bruno was giving away the ball like a schoolboy, and it was just annoying the shit out of me to the point where I started to swear at the television. Um,
Well, that's
and I
why
just think,
Howson excluded him from his predicted lineup. He thought that he
right,
deserved to sit out for the match, but
yeah,
I do
I
like
agree.
Bruno. Do you know, he reminds me of my dad. I mean, my dad is so temperamental, so
Yeah,
erratic. I could not have watched last night's match with him because he'd just
oh
be
yeah,
screaming that he's got like a telephone coil vein on by his
yeah,
temple on his forehead. Mate, you'd see the pulse. It would be fucking you'd see like the fucking blood pressure. His eyes
yeah,
going red and everything.
yeah.
So oh mate. Anyway, we've hit the 32-minute mark almost, so let's have some closing words from you, matey.
I think a lot of there's a good percentage of the squad who really need to look at themselves in the mirror um, and say what have we been doing wrong. Um, I could do a whole episode on what they're doing wrong, and I don't really want to have to do that episode because I hope that they're going to go on a bit of a run now. However,
Yeah,
I I think we're just so I don't know. The morale just was on its ass. Last night definitely picked
yeah,
up, um,
yeah.
and I think hopefully
Mate,
that
it's like
will
a
kind of
rave.
boost
Think
us.
about it.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can have your ups and downs. You can have the sort of the come down, and then you can
yeah,
sort of fly up back into the sky. So my
that's
final
it.
words, mate, are that I'm going to stick to my premonition that Slabhead is going to go fucking gung ho now, and he's going to rally the troops, and they're going to be moving
Yeah,
forward, back up the table, right up to the top.
right. That's a very deep premonition there. I think I
Belch.
think it'd be good if we there's still another what 3 games left of the Champions League group stage, isn't there?
Correct.
Yeah. So I hope that we can get to the knockouts. But then we could go on a run if we don't and end up getting to the final of the Europa League again. But I don't really want to do that. I want to be in the Champions League because that's where it's at. Um,
Right up to
I
the
just
final and lifting the trophy, mate.
Yeah, and I just want to quickly touch on one last thing. I hope that because obviously there's been a lot of movement now in regards to Newcastle sacking Steve Bruce. I hope that doesn't have a knock-on effect with the board at United doing something silly before they need to because they are scared they're going to lose out on a potential candidate to another Premier League team. And we could again do another whole episode about the whole situation going on at Newcastle and how we think that's going to affect United in the future in regards to inflated transfer fees, wages, agent bills, and all that. So that's
Yeah.
something
No,
that
I'll tell you
might be
something funny. I
interesting.
believe that they're only going to be given 50 million to spend in the next couple of transfer windows or something. So I don't know how true that is. So
Yeah,
I think that they're going to outspend us like they did in the 90s, which they did do, believe it or not.
yes, they did.
And
Yes,
Howson will back me up on this because he did mention that in the brew. So, and they're not going to get anywhere. So the only Geordie sort of locals that they're going to have coming through the ranks will be the
yeah,
Longstaffs. So
yeah,
I don't know how long they are, but and how long they'll stay in the club for either. So
yeah.
that's
Well,
that,
this
mate.
is it. I think you're right. We'll just have to. This is one of those. You got to ride. We're currently riding a wave at the moment, and you know, and going back to your idea of we're in a rave. We're waiting for the baseline to drop, and hopefully that will come
Yes, mate.
on Sunday. And the baseline drops, and we go
And we'll
absolutely
whack
like
out a hack
yes,
skits.
yeah, definitely. This is it.
Okay, mate. Let's wrap it up.
Right, well, yeah, over and out from me, mate, on this.
Quality stuff. All right, bring on the hack. If you want to know what a hack is, stay tuned and watch. Speak to you later, you chronic masturbators.